Today we are going to talk about the neck extension. With this unknown thing, it's important that the horse gets used to work in the extension or with a relaxed neck. What does it mean? It means that first of all the neck's muscles needs to be distended so that the hind legs can give the right thrust and be properly reinforced, just like the horseback. It is the same thing for all kinds of athletes. If their muscles are not properly stretched, they can't possibly lift weights. Otherwise, they are going to become little robots. Their muscles need to be elastic. The use of the chambon at the beginning can or cannot be a good idea, meaning that each and every horse has to be interpreted because they are all different from one another. So, for example, if we had a horse like this, so one here, it is a 6-year-old Dutch horse who has never worked with chambon, because in the beginning he was really strong and tense and was scared of almost everything. And even now, let's say, is not particularly brilliant, but we are achieving some results. In this case, I decided not to use the chambon for a horse with this kind of problems. Now, I'm going to explain what the neck extension really is. When we talk about it, we are not referring to this zone. It is not the mane that has to be parallel to the ground. No, we are talking about this zone. The horse is stretched when this line no, nothing. Get straight so that the head goes forward just like the nose and the horse weight moves to the forelegs. So, how do we get the horse the extended his neck without chambon? So, how do we get the horse to extend his neck? With the external flexions. What are they? For example, if we trot left hand, we flex the horse rightward. So we will work with the inside leg, which gets to be the right leg at the belts. The other leg's almost passive. The right opening rein will be high. The external flexion is an incredible exercise which gets the horse's shoulder to work as well as the neck, the back, and consequently makes sure his ends will work better. It's an exercise which lightens the horse's mouth as well as his forelegs. It's really amazing. I often use it when horses have contractures and rigidities. So again, what are the external flexions? It's, for example, to ride a horse left hand and flex him rightward. As soon as I feel the horse yielding and asking for the extension, I will return riding with the right flexion. We are going to play with the left rein to lighten his jaw. At this point, the horse is extended. So let's try to trot. So, even without the help of the chambon, it's useful for the rider to have an equestrian touch, which is not a kind of magic fluid, but it's an important thing on which riders should work on. This equestrian touch doesn't only involve the hands, but the whole body. We need to start learning to feel what happens, to feel. Only then we can get better, and this without bothering the horse, because one of the aims of equitation is to do the less possible with the maximum results. So, Let's trot and find out what to do to ask for the next extension.
Il meno fastidio ai cavalli, perché lo scopo dell'equitazione è fare il meno possibile con il massimo risultato. Uno degli scopi dell'equitazione. Bene, partiamo al trotto e vediamo cosa fare per chiedere la distensione in colatura. Allora, trotto.
So, this is really a cold horse. To make him advance, I just touch him with a whip. So, the horse is not distended like this, as many people may think. He is not extended. So, external flexions. I open the right rein. The right leg becomes internal and goes to the bend. I play and the horse goes down. So, in the beginning, of course, it ain't so easy. The horse needs to be worked in an external flexion for a while, and at a certain point, the horse yells. Every horse. So, some of them gets to do easily and others not that much, but even one yells. In the beginnings, they will go down. They are going to feel the emptiness and come up quickly, and just for a few seconds. So we have to build the extension. The horse has to be able to do all of this work in extension. So let's try again. Trot. External flexions. I raise my hands a bit, and here we go. It's coming up. It's coming up. I take some contact and is looking for my hands. The contact is always very light. I try to feel with my hands what the horse is asking, and I try to tell him what to do. We have to feel what is happening. So, this is it. It's an extension. We are working with this Dutch horse, as I was telling you before, to lighten him. I didn't break him, but I've always worked with him. It's just go a bit strong in his mouth. Right, cameraman. He messes up a bit. Plays with his tongue. Now, we are trying to put him lighten. Now, let's try to gallop. It is an extension possible while galloping? Yes, of course. So, I show you a little impulse. Not a really good start. Gallop, gallop, gallop. So, gallop, gallop, gallop. Let's try to ask for the extension. External flexion. Again. External flexion. I want him to ask me to go down. And again. I raise my hand. Again. External flexion. I'm happy about this. So, all of this doesn't happen thanks to the hyper training of the horse to the extension. It's because the method of the external flexion works for each and every horse. So try it. And in the beginning you need to be satisfied with just a few seconds. And later you'll get to do all of the work, like we'll do with him. This is the work on the saddle. To recreate the same condition from the ground, you'll need the chambon. The chambon